you can't be thinking you're going to go have plastic surgery on a Groupon.
Exactly.
Like ain't no plastic surgery on sale.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And if it's on sale, 9 times out of 10, you're not supposed to get it from the person that's having a sale on liposuction. Don't do that.
Confessing that although I love my family, most of the time I don't like my family. Everyone in my family.
Take a breath.
Everybody. I feel like I'm angry at everybody in my family. I don't like my family. If they weren't my family, it wouldn't be my...
Things inside the Braxton family are getting downright explosive. And this time, Tamar Braxton took things to a level no one expected. What started as subtle shade has turned into a full-blown family feud for the world to see. Tamar just went live and dragged her own sister, Toni Braxton, claiming Birdman supposedly broke things off because of a botched BBL that, according to Tamar, allegedly smelled bad. Yeah, she really went there. For weeks, Tamar's been throwing low-key digs at Toni, mocking her looks, hinting at relationship trouble, and making shady comments about Birdman. But when she dropped that BBL bomb, the whole internet lit up. She didn't just suggest Toni had work done. She accused her of having a surgery so disastrous that Birdman couldn't take it anymore. Now fans are in a frenzy trying to separate fact from pure chaos in this Braxton blow-up. Naturally, Toni isn't sitting back quietly. Word is, she's furious and gearing up to respond in a major way. If this keeps escalating, we might be watching one of the messiest celebrity sibling feuds ever, the kind that could make the Kardashians take notes. When Tamar called out Toni for allegedly getting a BBL, people thought it was just another clapback. But then she went further, claiming it went bad, and that Birdman supposedly left because of it. Outrageous doesn't even begin to cover it. Now, Toni's always maintained that she's only had a nose job and breast augmentation, nothing more. She's even joked about wanting lipo on her thighs, but said she never went through with it. Still, fans aren't convinced. Side-by-side photos from the 90s compared to her more recent looks have social media detectives convinced there's been more than a little sculpting involved. Once Tamar backed those rumors publicly, everything hit the fan. Insiders say the sisters have been on rocky terms for a while, and this just made things worse. Before Tamar could even drop her next episode, Toni's legal team reportedly hit her with a cease and desist letter to shut the conversation down. But Tamar being Tamar, she wasn't about to stay quiet. She clapped back instantly, insisting she's not the one stirring up drama and hinting that Toni's trying to hide something. Trina and Tawanda quickly distanced themselves, saying they had no idea about any cease and desist, which made it clear Toni was handling this one solo. Fans are now divided. Some think Toni's being defensive to protect her image, while others believe Tamar crossed a major line by exposing family secrets. Either way, this feud is spiraling fast. And knowing Tamar, she's not done yet. So, is this still Braxton family values, or have we officially entered the Braxton family feud era? One thing's for sure, the drama is real, the shade is heavy, and social media can't look away. Tamar Braxton has officially taken her family feud to nuclear levels, and this time, she's dragging her sister Toni like never before. According to Tamar, Toni's alleged BBL went so bad that Birdman almost divorced her over it. Yep, that's the claim shaking the internet right now. And fans can't stop talking, wondering what's really happening behind the glittering facade of the Braxton family. The drama's spiraling fast, and it's getting nastier by the minute. Let's rewind for a second. Remember when Toni reportedly filed for divorce from Birdman just 2 days after saying, "I do"? That wasn't just messy gossip, it really happened. Insiders say Toni separated from Birdman only 48 hours after the wedding, then filed official papers weeks later, claiming the marriage was irretrievably broken. That move stunned everyone, especially since this wasn't their first breakup. You might recall their 2019 split, but by 2023, Birdman hinted Toni had been sliding back into his DMs, dropping subtle flirty messages and reminding him of old times. At first, Birdman played it cool, saying he'd moved on. But Toni reportedly kept showing up and making her case until those old sparks reignited. By August 2024, the couple shocked everyone again by getting remarried, proving that love, or maybe stubbornness, runs deep. But just when fans thought they'd gotten their fairy tale ending, Toni turned around and filed for divorce again. The internet went wild, with whispers that she was chasing a massive payout. Some reports claimed up to $160 million after less than a month of marriage. The number alone had everyone debating whether she was protecting her worth or just being petty. Even 50 Cent couldn't resist chiming in, cracking jokes about her collecting coins after 16 years on and off with Birdman. That little jab sent social media into a frenzy, with people calling Toni everything from a gold digger to a woman scorned. But now that Tamar's made these explosive claims about a botched surgery being the real reason behind Birdman's cold feet, some fans are rethinking the narrative. Maybe Toni wasn't being greedy. Maybe she was just embarrassed and lashing out. Insiders later said Toni cooled off and withdrew the divorce, realizing Birdman had been planning to file first. Allegedly, she just wanted to control the story and not look like the one who got dumped. They supposedly worked things out, handled the rumored medical issues, and have been quietly rebuilding ever since. At least until Tamar started talking. Because, of course, Toni wasn't about to let her little sister run wild unchecked. Sources claim she fired back hard, this time taking aim at Tamar's own personal mess. Toni allegedly dragged Tamar's drama with her ex-fiancé JR, and the way she did it was brutal. Just months ago, Tamar herself admitted JR cheated, and not only that, he allegedly stole her jewelry and gave it to another woman. That woman, reportedly none other than Tommy Lee, wasted no time spilling tea of her own. Tommy claimed JR was seeing multiple women, never cut anyone off for Tamar, and even gossiped about Tamar's personal life behind her back. She went live saying, "He told me you went back to your mom's house. Not Mrs. Braxton. Not the singer with a sold-out tour. He said that was all cap. Said you were messy." The internet collectively gasped. Suddenly, Toni didn't look like the only Braxton sister with secrets spilling everywhere. Now, fans are divided. Some say Toni went too far airing Tamar's dirty laundry in revenge. Others think Tamar had it coming for starting the chaos in the first place. Either way, the Braxton sisterhood is hanging by a thread, and every day, a new layer of this messy saga unfolds. Tamar Braxton's love life has officially entered full-blown chaos mode, and the internet can't stop watching the meltdown unfold. The latest twist? She'd only known this man, JR, for less than a week before everything spiraled into absolute madness. Fans were stunned, dragging Tamar online for sticking around after the wild allegations surfaced. Nobody could believe what they were hearing. It was giving pure reality TV energy, but in real life. Here's where it gets even crazier. JR allegedly pulled all these stunts within days of meeting Tommy Lee. Yep, days. He supposedly knew all about the tension between Tommy and Tamar, but that didn't stop him from diving headfirst into the mess. Not only did he cozy up with Tommy, but he also reportedly started spilling Tamar's personal business like it was gossip hoe. If that's not wild behavior, I don't know what is. At that point, most people thought Tamar would cut her losses and move on. But if there's one thing about Tamar, she's going to do exactly what she wants, no matter what anyone says. So instead of walking away, she stuck it out with JR, the same man who seemed to be everybody's man. And of course, it ended just as messy as it started. JR eventually flipped the script and dumped her, leaving Tamar spiraling all over Beyoncé's internet like never before. Fans had mostly moved on from that whole disaster, until Toni Braxton brought it right back with a shady "isn't this you?" moment that broke the internet. It was the ultimate clapback, hitting Tamar exactly where it hurt most. The timing couldn't have been worse either, considering Tamar had just been throwing shade at Toni's relationship. These Braxton sisters don't just argue, they detonate. When they feud, it's like watching fireworks in slow motion, messy, dramatic, and impossible to look away. But this time, Tamar might have crossed a line she can't come back from. What she just did could go down as the ultimate act of family sabotage, and Toni's not the type to let that slide. Now, everyone's asking the same question. How far will these sisters go before things completely explode? Because if this tea keeps pouring, it's not just going to stay on camera. It's about to spill straight into real life. One thing's for sure, nobody does family drama like the Braxtons. And whatever happens next, it's going to have everybody online clutching their popcorn and refreshing for updates. Things have gone completely off the rails in the Braxton family, and this time, the drama's so wild it's making every other celebrity feud look like child's play. Tamar Braxton, never one to keep quiet when things get messy, has just dropped a bombshell that's got everyone talking. According to her, Birdman, yes, that Birdman, allegedly walked away from Toni Braxton after a botched BBL that went horribly wrong. And if that wasn't shocking enough, Tamar's been out here doubling down, throwing shade, and dragging her sister for filth in front of the entire world. When Tamar first went live and spilled the tea, nobody believed what they were hearing. Fans were glued to their screens as she hinted that Birdman had been distancing himself from Toni, supposedly because of personal reasons. But the real chaos began when Tamar came right out and said it, that Toni's surgery didn't go as planned, and that it allegedly made Birdman reconsider everything. Social media exploded within minutes. For those who followed the Braxton sisters for years, this kind of public family feud isn't entirely new. But this time, it feels different. It feels personal. Tamar didn't just air out her sister's alleged cosmetic secrets. She turned it into a full-on public spectacle. And for Toni, one of the most poised and private members of the family, that kind of betrayal cuts deep. Behind the glamorous life, the red carpets, and the hit records, the Braxton family has always been known for its complicated dynamics. They love each other, yes, but they also fight harder than anyone else in the business. From Braxton family values to real-life feuds on social media, these sisters have never shied away from bringing the drama. But even by Braxton standards, Tamar's latest revelation feels like the ultimate low blow. It all started when Tamar took to Instagram Live to clear the air. Fans thought she'd address her own issues, but instead, she took a sharp left turn straight into Toni's lane. Laughing, sipping wine, and surrounded by her friends, Tamar casually dropped the line that set the internet on fire. All I'ma say is, y'all need to stop acting like y'all don't know why Birdman left. That little surgery gone wrong ain't no secret no more. The chat went ballistic. People started commenting things like, not Toni's BBL drama, and did she really just say that about her own sister? Within minutes, clips from that live started circulating all over Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Bloggers picked it up and the headlines wrote themselves. Tamar exposes Toni's botched surgery. Birdman reportedly embarrassed after Toni's BBL disaster, and Braxton sisters' feud reaches breaking point. To understand how things got this bad, you have to go back, way back, to the long, complicated history between Tamar and Toni. Growing up in the same household, there was always a mix of love, rivalry, and comparison. Toni was the first to make it big, a multi-Grammy-winning legend with hit songs like Unbreak My Heart and He Wasn't Man Enough. Tamar, meanwhile, always felt she had to fight to be seen beyond just being Toni's little sister. That resentment simmered quietly for years, until fame finally found Tamar in her own right. Between her solo albums, reality TV stardom, and loud, outspoken personality, Tamar built her brand, one that was fiery, fearless, and unapologetically herself. But with that came clashes, both with her sisters and with the world watching. Fans who've been watching Braxton family values since the early seasons know this isn't the first time these two have butted heads. There have been tears, screaming matches, walkouts, and reconciliation after reconciliation. But this time, the gloves are off. Tamar didn't just throw shade. She crossed a line that might be impossible to come back from. And the timing couldn't be worse. Toni and Birdman have had a whirlwind relationship for years, one filled with breakups, makeups, engagement rumors, and whispers of trouble behind the scenes. When they finally tied the knot in 2024, it was supposed to be their happy ending. But just days later, fans started noticing cryptic posts from Toni, followed by reports that she had filed for divorce, barely 2 days after saying, "I do." At the time, everyone was confused. What could possibly go wrong that fast? Some speculated about money, others about cheating, and a few thought it might just be another publicity stunt. But according to Tamar, the reason was a lot more personal and a lot more embarrassing. In her live, she claimed Birdman had been over it because of the alleged surgery gone wrong, something she said Toni was trying to keep under wraps. Fans were stunned. Was this real, or just Tamar stirring the pot again? Within 24 hours, the internet was full of old photos comparing Toni's body from the 90s to her more recent red carpet appearances. Some fans swore they could see the difference. "It's giving BBL," one user wrote. "That waist's been snatched, and those hips don't lie," said another.